This is Jackie Helvey, and I'm here with my friend Maggi Grace, who is an artist and just an all-around wonderful person. She taught art for many years. She's also a writer. She's just got so much stuff going on. And we're sitting here. She, right before the pandemic, moved back to Carrboro, which we're thrilled about. Smile, Maggie. You look so, you look so serious.
I can't see your face.
See, that's the advantage that I have. I'm on the other side of the camera. But we're sitting here in her new studio, which is just fabulous. Her son came and spent 3 months here and built it for her, and it's just beyond anything that I could have ever imagined.
Thank you.
You must just be thrilled.
Thrilled. It's hard to even think about starting something because it's so beautiful as it is. It's like a piece of art all by itself.
It really is. Now, as I mentioned before, when we met, I think you were an artist, but you were also really into writing.
Yeah, I started out as a writer, and that was my primary form of creativity. And I taught poetry and fiction writing for a long time. And then everything changed after a class with Sue Anderson and then with Frederica Bishop, who I have her picture here and her art here. It just changed the way I looked at creativity altogether and realized that there are many modes, many ways to express yourself. So I did a lot of playing with art, and I ended up teaching a class called Playing with Paint just to get people unafraid, because I think I was so afraid. And it just went on from there, and pretty soon, the writing and the visual art went together in so many ways. And then I just got really inspired to just start painting. So that's what I'm doing.
Well, it's wonderful that you can tap into all of these different creative arenas. I think we all, throughout our lives, go through so many. I feel like I'm like in my fourth life right now. How we evolve into who we are at this age.
Right.
And how are you feeling about being back in Carrboro?
Oh, it was the thing that saved us. There are two things that saved us during the pandemic. One is we moved into this house 7 days before the shutdown. And of course, it's a 1912 house, so there's a million projects. So it just kept us busy the whole time. And the other thing was that we started homeschooling our grandchildren there in Oregon. And we started homeschooling them every day. So, and we're still doing that. And those two things that we could focus on really saved us. But we also love being here and being able to walk everywhere.
Right.
To the grocery store, to the tax accountant, to the police department, to the farmer's market, everywhere.
Now, I want to know, what are you going to the police department for? No, I'm kidding. But you remember a year ago in January when we were getting ready to go to Mexico, and we had just heard about this virus that was going around, and we went and got masks in case anybody was coughing on the plane.
Right.
We didn't put them on, but that was just right before.
That was the end of January.
Yeah.
And we didn't move in here until March 6th.
Yeah.
So the timing was at once awful and perfect.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like the year went into a dark hole or something. Like
Right.
it, I don't know, almost didn't happen. You know what I mean?
Right.
But in the meantime, your son Thane came, and you guys started. Did he design this studio?
He designed the studio. He's from Minneapolis, so we did that long distance during the pandemic, and then the end of November he showed up as planned and started building and did every piece of it. He didn't outsource any of it. Started with digging foundation work and then all the way through to the finished work, and we reclaimed so much of the material that it is truly in his and my style that this studio looks the way it does. I mean, I never imagined it, just like you said. I never imagined it would be this beautiful.
Yeah, it's like it's like a house. It's not like, I mean, we've got a little shed, but And when you said you wanted to build a studio, I was envisioning something more like that than someplace that you truly could live if you had to.
We
you
could,
know.
for sure. And it's, like I said, he just is such an artist himself that I was humbled watching him. I was humbled helping him. And now I'm just sitting here going, I can't mess this place up with paint. I don't want to spill anything on the floor.
Well, you're gonna have to. What else was I gonna ask you? Oh, one thing that I wanted to mention that I know you already know a lot of people in Carrboro and people know you, but something that they might not know is that you are an ordained minister, and you can officiate at weddings like you did my daughter's wedding. And so that's another skill set that you have.
And it's a really joyous one. I love doing it. I've done a dozen or more weddings now, and all but one have been outside, I think. So it's a really lovely time, and everybody's getting along for the most part. And it's just really a fun thing to be able to do. It started with my other son asking me to marry him and his wife. So.
Well, that's fantastic. It seems like there was something else I wanted to ask you. Oh, well, so what do you think this, now that you're here, you're in one of the historic mill houses. Is this your forever home now?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My partner says, don't even talk about moving. Don't even use the M word. We're never moving again.
Well, you always had intended on coming back here, so.
Oh, I knew I would. I went to take care of my parents, and my mother died 4 years ago, and my dad died. I have to add a year for the pandemic. I forget.
I know, it's like that black hole.
My mom died 5 years ago, and my dad died 2 years ago now. And as soon as my dad died, we started looking. And I knew we'd be back. And we found, people said you'll never get back to Carrboro, but we did.
Well, and you got back to a wonderful place in a wonderful location, and we are so happy that you're back.
I'm thrilled to be back. And Susan's not from here. She's from North Durham, but she says she's never been happier than in Carrboro.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for having this little conversation.
Thank you, Jackie. It's always fun to see you.
We're out.